Hello, Oliver James here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be talking about my hits and misses of this current weird pandemic hit Premier League, English football season. My hits and misses from the Premier League, Championship, League One, and League Two. So before I get into the video, if you already like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can comment in the comment section down below if there is any other type of video that you would like me to do, and I will get on to doing that. So without any further ado, we will start with the misses in the Premier League. The first team who are a miss, and it is unfortunately my beloved Liverpool. They were runaway Premier League champions last season. They won the title earlier than any team, lost about 3-4 games, I think that was about it. They were just unstoppable last season. And this season comes, they start well, then they lose Van Dijk against Everton when Pickford should have been sent off. We lost him for virtually the whole season. Joe Gomez, random injury in training for England. We lost him. We lost Fabinho a few times. Henderson, Thiago. We lost Mane and Salah due to Corona. Diego Jota missed 3 months after playing a rubber match against Midtjylland. We lost Alisson on a couple of occasions as well. Thiago as well. But without that, we should have still been consistent. And currently, we're 6th in the league. We are nowhere near winning the Premier League, and we are 5 points off top 4. There's even a big question if Liverpool can get Champions League next season. The only way we reckon that they might win it is if they can win the whole thing. There is a conspiracy about that as well, which I won't really get into. The second miss, Tottenham Hotspur. To be fair, is it fair to say it's a miss? Because, look, man, you know they got into a Champions League final 2 years ago under Mauricio Pochettino, and they were consistently all right. Europa League last season, they finished 5th or 6th. You know, Tottenham standards, they should be probably towards Champions League. But then Mourinho has come in because Pochettino was sacked. They haven't really progressed that much up the table. They lost to Arsenal a couple of weeks ago in the North London derby, and they shouldn't be losing to Arsenal. You know, they lost twice to injury-depleted Liverpool. Well, okay, to be fair, when you've got Mane, Salah, Firmino and that on the field of play, you should be losing. But yeah, man, they just, with all the talent they've got, they've just not hit the heights of where they should be top 4. You know, Leicester City are 3rd. They don't have an overly amazing squad on paper like Liverpool and Tottenham do. But, you know, Leicester are exceeding all their expectations so far. And the last one, which is probably a expected one, but it is managerless Sheffield United. You know, they finished top 10 last season. They were close to getting Europa League. They lost Dean Henderson, who went back to Manchester United. They brought in Aaron Ramsdale from recently relegated Bournemouth. And they are rock bottom of the Premier League. They've just had a tough season. And I think it is ever since the fans left Bramall Lane, you know, because no fans been allowed in all season. There was the odd game or two where there were fans, you know, and they picked up results, I think, in them as well, or maybe 1 or 2 odd results. But all Sheffield were actually in tier 3 or 4 where they weren't allowed any, to be fair. But even though Chris Wilder has left, I still would expect him to bounce back next season. You should see someone like Ryan Brewster, who should play more in the Championship. He will probably fire maybe 25-30 goals next season. Sheffield United will bounce straight back up next season. But anyway, the 3 hits. First one I'll go with Leeds United. Just come back into the Premier League after 13 years out under Marcelo Bielsa. They are virtually top 10. You know, Bamford has been fantastic. You know, he's been brilliant. You know, most of that team has been brilliant. They've had some iffy results here and there, but who hasn't, to be fair? So Leeds had to make the list. The second team, Manchester United. Pains me to say it, but they've been top draw this season, to be fair. Second in the league. They won't win it. They all fought for a second. Oh, United could win the league. No. Since Fergie, you ain't going to win it anytime soon. Especially under Solskjaer. You ain't going to win it. He's weird type of manager. You won't win it under with like Cavani playing up top. You ain't gonna win it if you play Fred. You ain't gonna win it with Harry Maguire at centre back. You ain't going to win it with De Gea in goal. That is for damn sure. But second in the league, I wasn't expecting them to be top two, to be fair. So they make the list. The last one was a toss-up, between Manchester City, even though I don't know why I would even have them on there, but I mean, from second to first, it's not really a big thing. But instead, I have to go with fifth place West Ham United. They threw away a 3-goal lead last week against Arsenal, mainly 2 own goals, so they technically scored 5 goals. But, I mean, they're fifth in the Premier League, for God's sake. They got Jesse Lingard in on loan from Manchester United, and they revitalised his career. He played last night in the England game. He was selfish, but I've not seen him play with that oozing, with that confidence in so long. But David Moyes has surprised me, because ever since he left Everton and went to Manchester United, he didn't do a good job. Then I'm pretty sure he went to Sunderland and he went to Real Sociedad. Didn't do that well. First spell at West Ham, he got sacked, despite keeping them in the Premier League. Then this spell, he came back in. I was like, why? First spell, you sacked him. He ain't going to do nothing much. Well, he has surprised us all with West Ham going to be getting, or should be getting, Europa League football. And that would be massive for West Ham in their bid to attract top stars, top names to the club, which I do think could happen. So they are my 3 hits and misses in the Premier League. On to the Championship. First miss, Derby County. They started the season, on the back of finishing not too bad last season, to be fair. And they had Philippe Cocu at the helm, a fantastic footballer he was, and they were in the relegation zone for a good 6-7 weeks. He got sacked. They had Liam Rossignol, caretaker manager for the odd game, and then in came Wayne Rooney, and he's revitalised them up the table. Not so far up, but I think they're 17th or 18th, and he's been given the job on a permanent basis. They have to give him time, because I think Rooney will do a good job. He might not do a Lampard in his first full season and get them to a playoff final and lose, but he will probably slowly progress them up, where I do think if he's given the time, he might get them back towards playoff, potentially even the Premier League. The second one is Nottingham Forest, from last season's highs of missing out. Okay, yeah, this is a low, but of missing out on the playoffs on the final day of the season, where they were in the playoffs for most of the season. They were fantastic, Forest. They missed out on the last game of the season, and I think that mentally affected them going into this season, where they were also relegation zone, and they were just out a bit, moved a bit higher, then they went back down. The rivals of Derby, both for them in there, potentially staring relegation down the barrel. Now they've both progressed up higher, so maybe call this a weird one-off, potentially poor season for Nottingham Forest. So maybe they might be back up towards their heights next season. And the last team is Bournemouth. Bournemouth, with all the quality, just because they don't have that man, the main man, the steel living Eddie Howe, they should not be seventh in the Championship. They should be top 2. Norwich went down last season. They are going to bounce straight back up again. Watford could also get automatic promotion and bounce straight back up again. Bournemouth might not even get a playoff place. There is one team in the playoffs that is shocking, and I will get to that now with my 3 hits. Barnsley are 6th in the Championship. Okay, yeah, man, I think they lost in the last game to Sheffield Wednesday, or they may have drawn or something. I'm pretty sure Barnsley lost. That was their first defeat in 14 games in all competitions, not barring the FA Cup game against Chelsea. But they are in the playoffs. Imagine Premier League football going to the Oakwell, who who, like in recent seasons in the Championship, they've been teetering above going down to League One, then coming up, and then going down, then going up, and maybe staying Championship one season, then League One, maybe staying in League One for a season, then going back up. Now they could be getting playoffs. That would be an incredible feat for them. Second team, Norwich. They had to make the list. No one else has really surprised me this season. Norwich, I didn't expect Norwich to go up the first season they went up. Them or Sheffield United. They weren't like top four favourites. But this season, Delia Smith has done one key thing. Well, I mean, she has. She kept Daniel Farker in charge. And look, they're top by 10 points, but Daniel Farker has kept a few key things. He's kept Cantwell. He's kept Pookie. He kept Buendia, or brought him in. You know, few key players. Buendia, Cantwell and Pookie have been incredible to their push to try and get back to the Premier League and maybe keep Premier League football at Carrow Road next season, especially when fans are back. This could be good. And the next one is Reading. Reading started the season incredible. They were 6 wins from 6. They were looking like running away with it. Then they lost to Coventry, and then they went on like a 4 or 5 game downward spiral. But now they've steadily stayed, and they are still in the playoffs. That is massive from last season, where they were teetering like lower mid-table last season. But somehow this season something's happened, and they are towards playoffs. Could Reading come back to the Premier League? Because I remember years ago when they were in it, they did actually have not a bad team. You know, Marcus Hahnemann in goal. They had Dave Kitson, Kevin Doyle for a bit, Stephen Hunt, Noel Hunt. They were actually not a bad Premier League team. That is just to say a few. You know, they were not bad. League One, Portsmouth. Household name in the Premier League. Then they went down Championship, down to League One. Okay, yeah, they haven't gone as low as Leeds and Bolton in League Two, but they're struggling in League One. For a team like that, shouldn't be struggling. They should be bouncing into the Championship. Then they should be mid in the Championship for maybe a couple of seasons until they maybe invest wisely, save a bit more money until like a season where there's no actual big names in it. Then just bounce straight back into the Premier League. And Fratton Park bouncing back in the Premier League. But they've been struggling. Wigan, the next one. My unfortunate team, you know, they trounced Hull City last season like 7-0. 6-7-0. They only went down because they were given a points deduction. And then this season, they've been down towards the bottom. And then they are going out of the relegation zone, in it, out of it, in it, out of it. They shouldn't be. A team like Wigan shouldn't be going down to League Two. It's just following in the Leeds and the Bolton footsteps here. This is getting depressing that my childhood teams that were in the Premier League for years and years, even Portsmouth and Sunderland, League One, they should not be that low. So I don't know what is happening. Obviously, people don't want to invest in them and that. And the next one is Fleetwood Town. They were playoff contenders last season. Now they are mid-table. They sacked Joey Barton, brought in someone else, and he hasn't really done a job. So Fleetwood have to make the miss list. Now, hits Burton Albion. You're probably thinking, Burton? Yeah, Burton Albion were bottom. Then they brought in Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, lost his first game 1-0. You were thinking, wow, he's changed it. Then he won 2, lost 1, and then he went on an 8-game unbeaten run, winning, maybe drawing 1, and then I think he lost another game. I think weekend just gone, but he's transformed him out of the relegation zone. Hasselbank is a Burton legend because he did have a spell at Burton before that where I think got them promoted from League 2 to League 1, but now he's back and he's kept them. Or was that could have also been Nigel Clough as well. But anyway, Lincoln City. They are playing right now against Oxford United, but they are a team that went up from, I think, Vanrama Conference or the Vanrama National League. Then they won League 2. Now they're in League 1. They are looking to bounce into the Championship. I've seen people predicting Lincoln to be in the Premier League in 5 years in the 2025-2026 season. I don't, they are a weird hit and miss type of team. They are currently 4th. Well, in play, when I last saw they were 3rd because they were drawing last time I checked. But they're 4th behind Sunderland, Peterborough, and it had to be Hull City top. So they might get playoffs and they could surprise everyone and go into the Championship. And the last one is Sunderland. Why I've got Sunderland on here? The last few years, they've either made playoffs and they've lost straight away, or they've lost in the playoff final, or they haven't made playoffs at all. But then they brought in Lee Johnson, and he's triggering them to being a point or two of automatic promotion. A big team like Sunderland could be going back to the Championship, and then potentially where they belong, Premier League. Watch this space, maybe a year or two, Sunderland back in the Premier League. Now my misses for League 2, Grimsby Town, rock bottom. It was Southend, but Southend have done all right recently. But Grimsby Town, rock bottom. They could be going into the Vanarama National League, which would be disappointing for a team of their standards and of their calibre. Next is Exeter. Exeter have been playoffs the last few seasons. Recently, results have not gone their way, and they're going a bit down. They have to do better. Colchester, they are towards relegation as well. Last season, they were up there. They really were, and times like no fans, I think, for them as well has not helped. Hits Bolton Wanderers. Bolton relegated from League 1. I was thinking they were going straight down there into League 2 this season. They are in the playoffs, or they are on the borders of the playoffs. Could this be their season where the Reebok, or now it's the Macron, may have some light, where they were virtually disbanded last season along with Bury? Unfortunately, God bless Bury. Hopefully they do come back, and I'm not religious, I'm just saying. But Bolton, could this be the shining light? Promotion to League 1, a bit of financial impetus. It's what they need. A club like Bolton should not be anywhere near League 2, let alone the Vanarama Premier League. Next team is Cambridge. Cambridge were teetering towards the relegation last season. Now they are in the automatic promotion spots. Remember, 4 teams go up. They are looking good to be going into League 1. And the next one is Forest Green Rovers. Why I've got them there? Because they are consistently in the top 7. They just haven't hit those heights of getting the job done. But Forest Green, I saw someone else as well make a prediction of them being in the Premier League in 5 to 6 years time. Don't see that happening unless they can get over the barriers. So they are my hits and misses of this current season. I hope you enjoy. If you disagree and you've got your own, then please put them in the comment section down below. And any other video you would like me to do, please comment in the comment section down below, and I'm pretty sure I can get that done. So anyway, if you haven't, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It will be very much appreciated. I've been Arthur James, and until the next one, bye bye for now.